downtown, walking fast, faces pass and I'm homebound.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Oh, so beautiful.
Oh, I'm so happy! I'm so happy! This is the best day of my life!
What's up, April here, and welcome back to The Struggle is Real, my YouTube channel where I do TV and movie reactions and reviews, all for your viewing pleasure, and also mine. Today, I will be reviewing the long-awaited and highly anticipated Alien Romulus. This will be a spoiler-free review. I want all of you to go into this movie the same way that I did, super excited, without anything ruining your experience, so I will not be giving away any major plot points in this review. Now, for those of you that don't know, this movie follows a group of young colonists that go to a derelict space station to scavenge some parts, and of course they end up encountering one of the most deadly creatures in sci-fi horror movie history. Aliens, xenomorphs, face huggers, creatures. How they encounter them, I am not going to tell you, or why. That's all I'm going to tell you in regards to the plot. Now, going into this movie, as you guys know, if you've been following my channel for any sort of time, you know how big of an Alien fan I am. The poster is right there. I did a reaction video for the Alien Romulus trailer a couple months ago when it came out. I only actually watched that first trailer and that's it. I did not go into the movie seeing the other trailers. I felt like they might have given away too much. I still don't know what those other trailers look like, to be honest with you. So I went into this movie with a complete blank slate, just excited about what I'd seen from the trailers, excited for the fact that Fede Alvarez was going to be directing the movie, and that the trailer looked like it would capture some of that original Alien essence from the first movie way back in 1979. And I gotta tell you, after viewing this movie, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, y'all. This movie was so freaking good. Oh my gosh. Now, instead of me just gushing for a ridiculous amount of time about how awesome this movie was, because it was, I've decided to break down this review into 3 parts. How I felt about this as just a normal movie, how I felt about it in terms of production, and how I felt about it as an Alien fan. Now, off bat, this movie did a really good job introducing you to the cast of characters that you're going to be following over the course of the film and kind of explaining to you the stakes of why they would even go up to scavenge this space station to begin with. And similar to the first Alien movie, it was dealing with a smaller group of people, and when you have a movie that deals with a smaller cast, you're kind of able to understand and latch on to each of these characters individually and understand their reasonings for doing things as opposed to with a bigger group of people. So from that, I thought it was cool where you actually understood each person's motivations for what they were doing. And shortly after you're introduced to these characters, the action and the stakes pretty much set themselves up right away. You have a nice little beginning of the movie, beautifully paced, and then it jumps into the action. And I don't mean action like this huge type of bombastic action. I mean action like there is action tinged with suspense, because you are following these characters as they do these actions on the space station. You are aware of what's waiting for them only because you're watching an alien movie. Now, you don't know at what point these aliens are going to appear, but obviously you know that they're going to appear at some point. So you're kind of wondering what's going to go down and how it's going to take place. But once you get into that point of the movie where you find that out, it's like, what? Now, in terms of an Alien movie, this is the 7th installment in the Alien franchise. If you take away Alien vs. Predator out of that grouping, you have the original 4 movies from 1979 to the late 90s, and then you have Prometheus and Alien Covenant. However, even though the Alien franchise is over 40 years old, that doesn't mean that every movie in the Alien franchise has been good. We all know as fans, there are movies that we count in the beautifulness of the franchise, and then movies that are like, okay, and then there are movies that we just don't pay attention to at all. It's like spades, you know, you got some definites and you got some possibles. Our definites are Alien and Aliens, our possibles are Prometheus, and then everything else is a mistake. I would say in terms of how this movie fits into the franchise, in terms of it being good, it is probably the third best movie in the franchise. It is actually, to me, right on par with Alien and Aliens. That's how amazing this movie is for several reasons. One, it does some pretty solid callbacks to the original Alien film. Now, obviously, this is because the movie takes place in between Alien and Aliens, but it does those things for a reason. One of the ways that it kind of calls back is with Weyland-Yutani, which is the business that has been prevalent throughout all of the Alien movies that has obviously been trying to capitalize on the xenomorphs since technically Prometheus. Over the course of the franchise, we've learned as viewers that Weyland-Yutani pretty much cannot be trusted. Nothing has changed in this movie. All we've learned is that Weyland-Yutani is deplorable and cannot be trusted. No, we learned that also 40 years ago. So in that, nothing has changed. But what I will say is that director Fede Alvarez did an incredible job of both paying homage to the original Alien movies and also infusing something new into his own production. There are times when you see the alien presented in the movie, which you can also see from watching the trailer, that these are practical effects. The face huggers and xenomorphs, it's practical, which is something that is definitely missing from some of the other movies in the Alien franchise. However, there is also special effects within this movie, but the special effects complement the practical effects that are there. There are also huge set pieces as well, like being on the space station, and also you kind of get a view of the planet that the colonists are from, which is pretty cool because outside of Prometheus and maybe the beginning of Aliens, each Alien movie kind of starts on a ship. So you don't really get a sense of where the world is or where whatever planet is at any one point of time. And this movie kind of gives you life on a planet for the first time, and it's not particularly great. I appreciated that the movie was kind of grungy and dark, but not dark in the way that movies have been doing recently where everything is so dark that you actually can't see what's going on. It was dark in the fact that things were kind of gritty and dirty and dingy, and you can see that this is the life that the colonists were leading more so than like the movie was dark for the sake of trying to like hide terrible production. That's not what it was at all. I also appreciated that this movie, and the trailer kind of gave a glimpse of that this movie was relatively quiet. Obviously, there are some times where there's like a lot of action going on and it's noisy, or, you know, you might have like a little instrumental here or there. But for the most part, the movie really like set the tone and allowed you as a viewer to be in suspense. That's the whole point of being in suspense. And I haven't felt like that watching an Alien movie since the first Alien and Aliens, and also Prometheus, where you kind of get a sense that you are feeling as much tension as the characters are feeling as you're going through the movie. I mean, you could pretty much hear a pin drop in the theater that I was in because everyone was so hyper-focused. But that does not mean that there weren't some truly shocking moments in this film. And for that, Fede Alvarez definitely stepped up and did some really new things, not only with the franchise, but for this movie. Now, obviously, with the callbacks and paying some homage to the original Alien movies, some things were done that I understand why they were done from the point of how the movie took place, the time period in which the movie took place, and why they were done. I'm not entirely sure that I liked the way that it was done. I kind of can't spoil it for any of you, so you're probably wondering right now, like, what are you talking about, April? But there is something that is within Alien Romulus that pays homage to the original Alien movie, and it does make sense in the context of the movie why that creative decision was made. I do feel like it could have been made a little bit differently, but I do understand the reason why it was made for the sake of the time period in which this movie was set. I get why it was made. I personally would have done it a little bit differently, but I'm not mad at the choice. I think the choice was actually quite interesting, and I do support it. Now, because the Alien franchise has been around for so long, there's obviously some established lore and some established things that you know going into the movie, not only as an Alien fan, but if you've seen any of the movies, you kind of know that. And I thought that this movie took some interesting liberties with the things that we do know about aliens and xenomorphs, the things that we know about Weyland-Yutani, and the way the aliens have been presented to us over the past 40 years. In this movie, Fede Alvarez managed to inject some new things into that established lore with an alien that we so know and love, but also keep some things consistent and also like teach us things that we might not have paid attention to before or we might not have known before. So I thought that was pretty cool too. I also think that setting this movie in between Alien and Aliens was very smart because respectfully, you have two of the most solid and beloved movies that are sandwiching your movie in the middle. So the movie was either going to be incredible because of that or fail because of that. And I think because of its position in between those two iconic movies, it actually ended up being very successful. With it, he was able to pull from the established things that we knew existed in Alien and then also the things that we know are upcoming in Aliens. He also pulled from Prometheus in very interesting ways, kind of establishing that Prometheus is important in the timeline and also establishing that no one gives a shit about Alien Covenant. At least I don't. I don't know about y'all, but I don't count that movie at all. Now, taking away the fact that this is obviously in addition to the Alien franchise and stripping down all of the beautiful production notes and the amazing cinematography and the really cool instrumentals and all of that, this was actually just a really cool movie to watch. The suspense elements were there, the character development was there, the stakes were there. Going into this movie, I was excited as a fan of Alien. I left the movie continuing to love the franchise and what this movie has added to it, and also love it as a movie. Like if this was just a standalone movie that was not connected to the Alien universe, I would have left saying this was a really solid sci-fi horror movie. But in addition to it being included in the Alien universe now, it's a dope sci-fi horror movie and it's a really solid entry into the Alien franchise, which is something that we haven't had as fans for 40 years. I said what I said, 40 years. The last incredible Alien movie was Aliens, and the last one that was like, we here was Prometheus. Outside of that, we've had nothing. So I don't know if there's going to be anything more than this. Not saying that the movie alluded to it or not, but saying I don't know if there's going to be anything more than this from Fede Alvarez in terms of him continuing to do movies within the Alien franchise, continuing to sandwich movies in between other movies, or maybe going into the future instead of the past. I have no idea, but in terms of me looking at this movie as one filmmaker to another, magnificent! Bravo, man. You made us proud. You literally added a dope movie into the franchise. Alien fans unite because he absolutely killed it. He did us justice. This is what we've been waiting for so long. We were hopeful with Prometheus, then disappointed with Alien Covenant, and this is the movie that we've been waiting so long to be included into the franchise, and it was worth it. It was worth the wait. It was a great watch, and I advise you absolutely go watch it. Stay away from all spoilers. Stay away from extra trailers. Just honestly stay away from the internet outside of like this video and other reviews that don't give you spoilers. You definitely want to go into this movie knowing as little as possible. You can definitely rewatch Alien before you go to see this movie. You can absolutely also rewatch Prometheus before you go see this movie if you want to be prepared for what the movie, might present to you. I definitely recommend watching those two movies. But outside of that, if you know nothing about the Alien franchise and you kind of want to dip into it for the first time, this will give you everything you need as kind of like a starter pack. And obviously, if you go see it with some fans of Alien, or if you are a fan of Alien and you go see it, there are some moments in the movie that you might be like,
whoa. Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
And there were definitely some moments in the movie where I felt that way. But overall, this movie was an incredible watch. I am so proud that it has been added to the Alien franchise, and I look forward to anything else that Fede Alvarez has done. He definitely has a check in my book. He already did from his previous works, but I think that he's definitely cemented himself as a solid horror auteur by doing Alien Romulus, and he'll definitely always have love from people in the Alien franchise. As far as I'm concerned, I'm proud of what you did, man. Thank you for adding this to your filmography. You've made us all insanely proud. Anywho, thanks so much for joining me for this review of Alien Romulus. Have you seen Alien Romulus yet? Do you want to see Alien Romulus? If you've seen it and you're just excited as I was, let me know about it in the comments. If you haven't seen it and you're trying to, skirt around spoilers, let me know about it in the comment section below as well. If you've liked this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, more movie and TV reactions and reviews. And for the Strugglers Real, I've been April, and I'll see you real soon. Peace!